Hi everybody, it's Jules Chabot here. As usual, Friday equals weekly wildlife wisdom. I am a Celtic wildlife artist. My maternal side are from the Highlands of Scotland, my mum's family, and also my paternal grandmother's family are also have Irish Scots blood as well. Hence the Celtic wildlife artist, in case you're wondering. My surname Chabot is French, but that is my husband's doing. So I don't have French ancestry, but I've always been really drawn to Celtic wisdom, the beautiful, powerful connection that the Celts had, along with most, if not all, indigenous cultures, with nature and with wildlife, revering and honouring and being of service to nature and the natural world has always, from my earliest memories, been really, really important to me and so obvious. So that's why I create art. One of the reasons I love creating the wild animals. I love connecting with them as I'm doing it and learning from them, and I love sharing their wisdom with all of you lovely folks that feel that connection too, and are interested in how wild beings, whether they be animals or trees or plants or any life on earth, how that connects into us in our human bodies, and how we can learn from their ancient wisdom. And I think today's beautiful beings, the Rooks, is a particularly wonderful, for me anyway. I feel such an ancient energy to them, and I was fortunate enough this week, in fact I've just come back from my walk, early morning walk, and the pair that I have seen from time to time, but not for quite a while, appeared back in our garden because we feed the birds, the squirrels and anyone else who wants to come and get some food. They're all equally welcome. They come for the food, and this morning when I came back, they were both sat up in the top of the tree looking down, just making sure. They're very, very cautious, and understandably so, with the way that corvids and birds of prey also have tended to be treated by many, particularly farming communities and hunting communities, for many, many centuries. But I always say to them, in my mind, I look at them and send them my love, tell them how very welcome they are and that they are completely safe to come and get some food. And they're so beautiful. They're such shiny animals. Their feathers are so shiny. But they're also unusual because, unlike some of their related corvids, they have a very grey, pale grey beak. And then the area of skin around their beak and just underneath their beak is actually naked. There's no feathers there, and it's grey. Their skin's grey, which to me, as soon as I see them, I just think prehistoric life. You know, it also transports me back to the land of the dinosaurs, and I just know that their wisdom, all the animals have this beautiful ancient wisdom, but the Rooks for me hold a particularly special ancient wisdom, so I'm really keen to share that with you. And thank you for joining. Hi Minu, it's lovely to have you here. Susie and Helen, welcome. And all those of you that watch back on my replay as well, I love having you tune in, and do let me know what you think and what your reactions are, and if you've had any encounters with the beautiful beings that we talk about. So I love to hear it. I've also just learnt from a friend, good friend, lovely Jane, that I can upload these onto YouTube as well. So I figured out how to do that. So I'm going to start. I've already added one to YouTube for people that don't use Instagram, which I know doesn't include you guys, but I wanted to share it here just so you're aware, because you might use YouTube and I'm going to start uploading all my weekly wildlife wisdoms on there as well. So that's news. Also news, before I dive into rooks, is if you're not already, I know many of you are, but if you're not already signed up to my newsletter, my website newsletter, which I send out once a month, you might like to get signed up, which is very simple, because there's something very special happening next week, and I don't want you to miss out on the early notification which my subscribers get. So if you haven't signed up and you'd like to get news of this special announcement next week, all you have to do, once this live's done, head over to my grid, Jules Chabot Artist, and then click on my bio link. And if you have a look at the links there, one of them says join, what does it say? Join my mailing list, simple as that. So you click on that, you just add your name and your email, and that'll automatically be added to my MailChimp list. And then next week when I send out the newsletter, you will receive it with some special news just for my subscribers first of all. So if you want to do that, I'd love to welcome you on board to my mailing list. Now, let's get back to rook wisdom, shall we? So I had this lovely visit a few days ago, and then I saw them again today, and I knew that they wanted to be heard. This morning I stood and just connected with them as I shared, and they were looking at me, and yet they were very relaxed, and I was telling them that I was going to be sharing their wisdom and that I hoped I'd do a good job for them on their behalf. Susie's saying wonderful, I'll share those. Oh, thank you. I presume that's my YouTube videos you're referring to. That's great. It's just to get the word out to as many different people as we can who know it in their psyche, but they maybe just need to get that affirmation that, you know, we're not making these things up, that this wisdom and knowing's been around for millennia, and the animals really do hold some very, very important wisdom for us, which I'm going to come on to. Yes, Susie. Great. Thank you, Susie. You're a star. So let's dive in. So rooks. The connection and the topic of this weekly wildlife wisdom was connect with ancient wisdom, and I think I've set that scene very clearly. In Celtic myth, which is obviously where I start because it's my ancestors, my family historical knowing, but as I search around the world for different cultural beliefs, they're so incredibly similar, which again says to me this is truth, because way back when they weren't able to travel, they weren't on Instagram, they weren't able to even communicate by telephone back then. So this is all universal knowledge and knowing. But the Celtic key aspect is around this deep ancient wisdom that they can tap into, and by inference, when we connect with them, we can ask for their help to connect. Now, if you regularly have your own way, your own method of connecting with your ancestors, with your spiritual guides, angels, whatever you want to call them, with your prayers, with some ceremonies, then you'll know how to do this. But the rooks are also very helpful at strengthening that for you. If you've never done this before and you really don't know where to start, again, it's not something that just some people can do. We can all do it. We just need respect. We need to honour them. We need to be mindful and build relationship with them. We can do that all in our mind. And if you feel called to a particular set of beliefs, and then I'd encourage you to just learn more about that and learn how different people connect with their ancestors. And, you know, to do that on a daily basis, it need only take a few minutes, is very, very powerful, because it brings us back to this central way. And I think that's what we really, really need to draw on in these really chaotic and destructive times that humanity is living and creating at the moment. And so it's all about this ancient wisdom. It's all about the ability to transform and move beyond our current limitations, whatever that looks like, whatever our age, wherever we are in our life to death cycle. It's all about that. It's about being able to adapt and transform. And there's an element of alchemy with the Corvids, which is something that we again can tap into when we do that in the right way for the right reasons. And I want to come on to a key thing that was shining out for me when the Rooks visited, and they were sharing a very deep feeling with me about humanity as a whole's ethical and moral standing at this time in our evolution. Because I don't know about you, but at least the last month or so, all I keep hearing people talking about, and obviously these things are attracted for you to notice and give attention to and to ponder and think it through for yourself in your own life, is words like treachery, lies, deception, fraud, double standards, triple or quadruple standards, and how much of this is being uncovered and made transparent in our world today. And whilst it can be very, very depressing and fear-inducing and worrying and all those negative energies, the fact that it's coming to light and we can literally shine a light on it, I think is very important. And a lot of people that have probably been getting away with these dishonest, morally corrupt ways of being and destroying in the world are now being called to account. We haven't quite got, I know we haven't got to the accountability yet, but I think we are moving so that when people are doing these dreadful things, they're lying, they're deceiving, they're manipulating, they're forcing control, domination on others, they are able or have been able to just walk away scot-free. And we're seeing that happening around the world. However, the fact that we can now see what's happening much more clearly, I believe will lead to a series of events, I don't know over how long, that will call all of us to account, to step forward and say no more. And I think this is really important, but also looking deep within ourselves to say, how am I living my life? Am I morally and ethically on the central way, on the way that says I am doing and being and acting in ways that are balanced and compassionate and kind to ourselves and others, to all life? Am I taking choices, avoiding? Am I manipulating? Am I being dishonest? All of those things about every aspect of our life. Not to beat ourselves up, but if we find ourselves saying, oh yeah, I really shouldn't be doing that, the opportunity there is for us to step into this wonderful energy and wisdom that, for me anyway, the Rooks really sort of embody, being full of justice and standing up for what is right, no matter what the cost. And I think that's something that we humans really need to get back to grips with, and to really analyse and think about and change in our lives wherever we need to. Even the smallest things matter, because of course everything we do emits an energetic vibration. So a little thing here and a little thing there, or the classic ones, which is, well, they do it, so it doesn't matter if I do it. Or, well, nobody will know. Or, well, I've got away with it in the past, so it's okay. I'm not suggesting you do anything like this, but I think we've all over our lives probably had times where we've done things that we think, oh, shouldn't really have done that. That's human nature. But it's now about cleaning and clearing our path so that we can be like these beautiful beings. So for me, I think that's really important. What's your moral compass? What is ethical to you? How do you live that and demonstrate it? Because a lot of politicians and others are very good at doing this, but not so good at actually walking that talk. In fact, they can often deliberately mislead and lie, and with the intent to manipulate and distort and deceive, and that is not good, and not good for the whole planet and beyond. So that's a really core one that really stuck out to me today when I was just tuning in with these beautiful birds. They're so intelligent and they're so intuitive, and so, as I say, you can ask for help from them, from your ancestors, with their help and their protection. I always ask for connection with my healthy ancestors, guides and angels, as an extra assurance that you're not drawing in people out of the physical, souls out of the physical that may not have the best of intentions. So I always add that in. Healthy or 100% light ancestors, angels and guides is who I ask to connect with, and I can feel very clearly their connection, and when I work with the animals I can feel their connection as well. So it's just about opening your heart and doing it daily so that you get to sense when you can feel that connection, and we can all do it. There's no reason why you can't do this. It's just belief and practice and coming at it from the right place, so that you are asking, help me, please help me to make better decisions, take better actions, to stay in the moment, whatever it is that you want to ask, working with them, preferably each day. Maybe when you wake up, I tend to do it when I wake up, and I give thanks and I ask for protection, and then I have a question or I have a request for help during the day around a particular issue or a conversation or whatever it is, to help me to be a better human being, to send out an energetic vibration that is more helpful for the continuous evolution of everybody on this planet and whatever else, all else that is beyond it. So I think that's probably the key message. As always, I've got other things that I could share, but I think that felt like that's what the Rooks wanted me to share with you all today. And it is a really big issue. And also, I just want to mention it's sometimes easier to throw attention out to others and give all our energy to, isn't that dreadful, aren't they awful, they're terrible, they've done this, they've done that. But also remember that you don't want to be focusing your energy on all the bad that's going on in the world. Be aware of it and don't deny it, and be prepared to do whatever you can to right the wrongs that are happening, however you can. But focus on your own actions, your own beliefs, your own vibration and energy just as much, if not more so, so that you know you're contributing each day in a way that helps us get back to the central way, because the central way is balance. The central way is we're all equal. The central way is we follow the laws and the rules of nature. We protect nature. We protect all of nature. We have compassion. We have kindness. We follow our purpose. We give of service in our day-to-day life to benefit others as well as benefit ourselves, and that is where we need to be as a collective, and we all make a difference. Oh, Helen's saying I could hear a robin then. Oh, that's beautiful. I love robins, and I know you do as well, Helen. They really do have a very powerful vibration. Their singing vibration is beautiful, and they are very protective birds as well, and they are connected with our ancestors as well. So that's really lovely. Thank you for sharing that, Helen. And Susie says, oh cool, it's still dark here. Yes, you are super early bird, aren't you, Susie? Every time you join, I really love that. I know you are an early bird like me. But yes, we're starting to get lighter mornings. It's just starting to happen, which always feels good. I love this sort of approach into springtime, one of my favourite times of year. Anyway, I'm going to leave you. It's 20 past, so I've done my bit for today. I hope you've enjoyed learning more about rooks and how we can connect with our beautiful, healthy ancestors to help us with our moral compass and our way forward as we step forward in our lives. Next week, just a quick notice about next Friday. I'm going to be out in the morning at my creative morning, which I'm looking forward to. But I will be doing weekly wildlife wisdom, but it won't be till 2 p.m. UK time. So I'll put a notice up about that, whoever it may be. But it'll be 2 p.m. UK next Friday, which is the 19th. So I look forward, hopefully, to seeing you then. You're very welcome. Thank you so much. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.